not. Thank you for the good performance.
Our next fight of the night.
Never underestimate someone fighting for their family.
Please welcome Michael Mascio.
Here comes the show, Michael Mascio.
Yeah, you know, when your name's Michael Mascio, I'm sure Michael the Show Mascio just kind of comes very naturally. But, you know, aptly named the show, Michael Mascio, coming out for the red corner. He works at Perfect Media, and he will be taking on Gustavo Moller, the Milkman. And talk about signs, Chad. These are some good signs, let me tell you. They got DeFasco.
It's perfect, just like the media company they work for.
Oh, this is solid. Well, he's fired up.
And now making his way down to the ring, please welcome Gustavo Moller.
You know it's always extra legit too, Chad, when they have their own custom gear. He came in with his own hoodie. I've seen robes in the past. Pretty crazy. And then we have his opponent coming out, Gustavo Moller. More of a plain Jane look. He's just got his ring gear on. But do not let the looks fool you or the way he enters the ring. This man is all business and is most definitely going to have a height and reach advantage. Whether he's able to use that effectively, we're about to find out.
You can never underestimate a Milkman. That's just can't do it.
I know exactly what you mean. I once knew a fighter nicknamed the Bagley and was not a lady and was a very tough individual. So do not let it fool you.
Michael the Show Mascio.
And the show bumping it with the ring announcer.
And his opponent on my left,
Max
fighting out of the
Holloway
blue corner. He enters the ring this evening representing Cadreon. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Gustavo the Milkman Moller.
They should have a contest to see who has the best nickname. Put it to a fan vote.
Yeah, I hear you. A nice little fan vote. It's always a good way to settle it. We got Michael Mascio, the show, Gustavo Moller, the Milkman. Yeah, again, just great nicknames and a whole card of great nicknames. So it's kind of hard to narrow it down to which one you like the most.
I think this card's got to go in the Hall of Fame for best nicknames on a card.
No doubt. Well, that's what Agency Wars brings to the table. I mean, this is a promotion. It's no fluke that they're currently having their 8th event, that they've been going on for nearly a decade, that they get better every year, that they have a reality show now. The proof is in the pudding. They put in the work, and look at this fight. This is classic. That's what people want to see on any card.
The show and the Milkman putting on a show.
Yeah, Michael the Show is putting on a show, but he needs a willing dance partner to do that. And Gustavo Moller, so far so good. Not a whole lot of movement with them, but just like spring back like a coil, just ready to unload. And look at these shots. He generates a lot of power.
And the ref warning both guys about pushing. He's got the best seat in the house, so I didn't see it. Obviously, he did.
Yeah, both men taking their time. They have a lot of respect for each other. That opening exchange made you really realize what the other man had. And now they're taking their time. They're being a little more methodical, a little more plotting, a little bit more setup to the game here. We're seeing that Michael Mascio will have a little bit of a speed advantage. He's the shorter man. He's got to do what he's doing right now. Circle that perimeter. Don't let the taller guy get comfortable. And with Gustavo Moller, creeping in, inching in, finds that distance, lands that shot. And he's got big power. So two different styles, and both guys trying to make their style work. And there they go back at it, Chad.
Yeah, and it looks like Gustavo Moller might have a bit of a bloody nose, maybe not. No, it looks like there's a little blood forming in there. So what that does is it makes it harder to breathe through your nose. Then you start breathing through your mouth, and then these punches become more dangerous. So we'll see if Michael Mascio can take advantage of that.
Yeah, there's definitely two ways it can go. Way number one, you taste the blood. I mean, you smell. It's like a bag full of. It's like a handful of nickels in your mouth. It's not a pleasant experience. Now you're breathing heavy. Now you see the blood. Now it causes you to start second guessing yourself. The other way it could go, Chad, though, is he might be thinking to himself, "You just made me taste my own blood."
Nobody does that.
He's gonna come in with a renewed sense of urgency.
Might do his best Ben Stiller impersonation and get very angry.
No, Gustavo Moller seemed he's technically sound. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of movement there, but you know, you look at guys like the great Vladimir Klitschko or his brother Vitaly Klitschko, heavyweight boxers that don't need a whole lot of movement. They don't need to be Mike Tyson. They don't need to be closing the distance. They don't need to be throwing those big winding hooks. They stand their ground. They know it's harder for you to come to them, and they land those shots. And then we're seeing it almost seems stiff, but it's not stiff. He's just holding his ground and then exploding with these big punches, especially that left hand.
Yeah, he's not wasting any energy.
Exactly.
He's not wasting any energy. So when you bounce around a lot, you waste a lot of energy, and you're absolutely right. Gustavo Moller is not doing that.
No, not whatsoever. Michael Damasco, meanwhile, he has to move. He has to keep on his toes because he's the shorter guy. You see him, he was on his tippy toes throwing the right hand over the top because it almost seems like he needs to overcompensate for the fact that he's fighting the taller man. So all he can do is move, try to stick and move, and try to frustrate him. But if he does not move in, this is what we have, a stalemate. And if he does move in, he's being hit first because his opponent is controlling the range game. And so a very difficult spot to be in. And another left hand just crushed him pretty clean. And another one.
Yep, that was a big left hand. And we've seen a lot of southpaw boxers tonight. And Moller is another one.
You know what? The southpaw boxers that we have seen have all competed very well. Two of them anyways. And it's that left hand. That straight left is something that your opponent has not dealt with. You kind of know their game a little bit. All your partners are orthodox. They don't know your game quite as well. It's almost like you're boxing in a mirror. Everything's coming back at you differently than the way you had anticipated it to happen. So,
and Michael Damasio is definitely in the tougher spot because he has to come in to get any shots in, but Gustavo Moller doesn't. So,
yeah, you know what? It's a tough place to be in if you're Michael Damasco because Moller's letting you pick your poison. Do you want to stay on the outside where I will be able to hit you because I'm the longer man? Or do you want to come to the inside in which I'm going to hit you 2-3 times before you can get to the inside? What you'd like to see is maybe Michael Damasco could cut off the ring a little bit, maybe force him back towards the ropes and tee off on him. But he's such an imposing physical figure, you're not able to move him back. You're not able to cut him down. You're not able to trap him up in the corner.
And it's very
he just holds his ground very well.
And you just hit the nail on the head, Cody. It's very hard to do that against a fighter that doesn't move a whole lot. You know, the Milkman's just kind of standing there, letting him. He's not forcing anything. He's not rushing anything. But he is moving in the right direction, so that way he can't have the ring cut off on him. So,
well, hockey fans will get the reference, but with Zdeno Chara, the great defenseman currently playing for the Boston Bruins, he does when he does fight. It doesn't happen rarer nowadays that he's in his 40s, but he doesn't go at you. He doesn't skate around in a circle and size you up. He waits there. He sits there and he waits for you to come get some. And
here we got a brawl. We got a brawl on the ropes.
Oh!
There's going to be a standing 8 count.
Oh my God. Whatever the advice was to Michael Damasco, he has followed it to a T. Get in there, close that distance, and get on him. Those were huge right hands. Props to Gustavo Moller for taking those first and foremost, but talk about changing the tide of a fight. First round, very tough. Second round, very tough. And you know you got to make something happen. And that's exactly what he did. That changed the course, but
here we go. Now
you got
it's
an
payback
opponent
time.
who's upset.
That is the one thing about a stance like Moller's, though. He keeps his head way up in the air, and that leaves him susceptible, but he has landed some bombs. And Cody, to go back to your Zdeno Chara thing, he's not well liked in this town. So.
Well, as a Toronto fan, you've been burnt many times by one Zdeno Chara.
2013 ring a bell. We won't talk about it, though.
No, we will not. What we will talk about is this fantastic action happening in the ring. Gustavo Moller taking on Michael Damasio. Both guys having their moments. It seemed like Moller was kind of pulling the fight in his direction, getting comfortable, landing the significant shots, and maybe banking up a little bit of lead on the judges' scorecards. But Michael Damasco, you know, on a night that's featured a lot of fighters with heart, this guy was one of the very few fighters tonight that knew he had to make it happen in that third round and went full board and made it happen. If you count that standing 8 count as a knockdown, then that would make it a 10-8 round. Even if he lost the first 2 rounds, it would be a draw. But I'm under the impression that a knockdown or a standing 8 count does not lose you a point in amateur boxing, and for that reason, it should more than likely be a decision victory for the Milkman, Gustavo Moller.
And Michael Damasio was cut up towards the end there. His nose was starting to bleed a little bit. So he's probably fortunate that the fight ended when it did. You don't want to see anyone get busted too high up in a charity boxing match here. So,
well, the other thing too is that Michael Damasco came out the beginning of the third round guns ablazing. He threw 4 or 5 heavy punches. They landed. He did some damage. It looked like it was the beginning of a good round for him. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to sustain that pace. And after the standing count, he was the one moving backwards. So you got to wonder if maybe he,
we go to the judges'
blew his
scorecard,
wind a little bit
and the
early
judges
into that.
are in agreement. Your winner, by way of unanimous decision, from the blue corner, Gustavo, the Milkman
Gustavo with the blood on his right bicep,
Moller.
celebrating the win, giving his coaches a hug. Good fight to both gentlemen.
Oh, great. Very good fight.
entertaining.
Very good fight. That is most definitely going to be one of, if not the front runner for Fight of the Night. And yes, we are presenting a Fight of the Night today after the card is complete. If you're watching this online, if you're watching this in the arena, wherever you might be able to hear this, we have an app. Go on to Agency Wars and cast your vote,
And
because we're giving out prizes. And after the kind of effort that these men and women are putting in there, they deserve a little prize at the end of it. So if you do believe that was a Fight of the Night, go cast your vote right now.
Take a picture.
In the next fight.